So the scenario I want to use is a $200,000 house back in October of 2021 with relatively low property taxes coming in around $400 a year. And we're going to use, just for this scenario, an $1,800 a year homeowner's insurance policy. So with those numbers in place, we're going to plug those into our mortgage calculator and find out what payments would look like relative to the interest rate only. So we're not really going to get into what the PMI or the MIP would be if we use certain government-backed loan types. We're strictly going to look at the principal amount, interest, taxes, and homeowners insurance. Considering a 3% interest rate, our payment at this point for our home buyer would be $1,101 and a little bit of change. So that was October of 2021, assuming a 3% interest rate. So now we're going to fast forward to January of 2022. Our interest rates were climbing up and a lot of people were seeing them come in around 4%. So when we plug that into our mortgage calculator at 4%, our payment has gone up over $100 a month to $1,213 a month. No big deal, right? We're just up about $100. And if we shave a little money off of our grocery budget or off of our entertainment budget, we can still probably handle that $100 a month, or so most homeowners would say. But all right, let's fast forward another percent on the interest and let's go up to 5. Now, our payment for this same home buyer would be $1,331. So we've crept up $230 just with 2 points added to our interest rate. Okay, well now your average home buyer is having to really think about, how do I cut back? Where can I shave off this $230 to still be able to buy my $200,000 home? But okay, your average home buyer at that time might still have been able to buy the home. Or could they? Because now we've really gone up so much in our payment per month that we have to consider what this does to the debt to income ratio of the buyer. The average person is probably going to have a car payment. They're going to have car insurance. They have to pay for gas, clothing to wear to work, food to eat, and then you have your utility bills at your home, no matter where you live. So when you consider all of that, wrap it all together, that is your monthly debt, and you compare that to how much you bring in, and that becomes your debt to income ratio. And there's a cutoff for that. So the higher your monthly debt goes, the higher your debt to income ratio number is. And if you were borderline to start with, you might now be pushing over that amount when you stop and realize that you have to factor in that new monthly house payment. New monthly house payment is happening at a 5% interest rate on our scenario. We're at $1,331 per month. But let's say we didn't get that closed in April of 2022 with that 5% interest rate. And let's fast forward a few more months to August of 2022, when somehow we made it up into 6% plus for our interest rate. Now we're at $1,457 a month payment on the exact same house that a year earlier would have likely had an interest rate in the 3s. Now this really is assuming best case scenario with your credit being factored in, but this isn't saying that you're going to make 20% down payment on the house. This is just saying that you're going to have a standard issue conventional loan with maybe a 3 to 5% down payment. So in this scenario, the person was likely looking for a home back when rates were low and very excited about how much house they could afford for $200,000, and the fact that with those low interest rates, they could actually pull off that payment for an indefinite time. So they wanted to lock that in for 30 years and really know that their house payment was going to be something manageable. And so they put in an offer on a house, but it wasn't accepted. So they would continue to look and offer, and time passes. And all of a sudden, you're in late 2022, and suddenly they put in an offer, it was accepted, everything is fantastic, until they begin to realize that their payment is now $1,457 a month at 6% interest. That is a huge jump when you consider that just a year ago their payment might have been $1,101. That's $356 difference. That's more than a little bit of entertainment money or a little bit off your grocery budget. So what does that do to the market? It forces those buyers to go back down into a budget under $200,000. Suddenly they're back to looking at the $160,000 houses like they were before the market got so high and the interest rates got so low. Now they're having to look back into a range that still does not exist because prices haven't gone down just because interest rates went up. In all likelihood that will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So right now we have a scarcity of buyers. Suddenly all these people who were looking and excited and waiting for just that perfect house have gone back into their homes to regroup and rethink of just how they're going to make this happen.